This is Daniel Simon at Baton Rouge Community College. This week I have a preview about the History 1113 course for the spring semester. So anyway, right now you should be looking at Canvas modules for the beginning of the semester. I did have some information at the top about the background of the course, whether it be the syllabus or preview videos about the course and the syllabus and all that. That should be something you should be working on right now. At the beginning of the semester. Also, they have that pre-test that's also out there that you need to also complete towards week 1. So if you look at modules right now for weeks 1 and 2, I did want to go through like a little preview about what's upcoming that needs to be completed, especially starting on Monday, January 12th, because that's when the course is going to open up. And my first assessment that I will have for you to do based on lectures about history, etc. We're going to have, of course, the prehistory lecture, usually the first lecture I have for the History 1113 course, and that lecture goes into the background of like early humans and how they developed in Africa and then moved to different parts of the world. So I do go into that, talk about also the background of history. Like I do mention a little bit about Herodotus, who he was. Also go into like the river valley civilizations as well. So that lecture you should watch, of course, and complete Canvas quiz number 1. There are lecture notes with that, which you can see right here, which you want to download. And these will be the main, topics that'll be, of course, with that particular assessment. But you'll see that note right there with it. Make sure you do download it because I have like extra notes in there with each PowerPoint slide. So that's kind of important that you get that. It won't be in the PDF, but you can't just look at it. You download it so you can, of course, get that extra information. So there are 2 lectures I have for prehistory. I think the one right here you're looking at, that one is mostly like the main original lecture. I guess the one that I did that you should look at. There's also another version which just has the PowerPoint slides in it, which I think I did that one maybe in 4K or something like that. But that one, it's also another version you can look at, but it just has, like I said, the PowerPoint slides in it. Then, of course, there's the Canvas quiz right there. It's going to, you see, due Friday, January 23rd, but it could be extended, of course, which, some of my assessments will eventually, be pushed back, for extra time. We keep going down for modules. You'll see also towards Monday, January 12th for weeks 1 and 2, there's going to be another lecture series on the history of ancient Mesopotamia, where I kind of go into like the history of ancient Iraq a long time ago. So there's the announcement about that, watching those lectures, and of course completing the assessment on ancient Mesopotamia. And kind of go a little bit of information about that. I know in the part 1 lecture, I go into like the background of ancient Mesopotamia, which they now call Iraq. And I do kind of talk about some of the early civilizations. Mostly I go into like the Sumerian culture, but I do kind of talk about the Akkadian culture that was also there as well. So that's the main PowerPoint, which has, of course, the extra notes in, for each slide that I have. The part 2 lecture will go into like some other civilizations, like the rise of the Babylonian culture, the rise of the Assyrians and their famous empire. I go into some other cultures too, like the rise of the Hittites. I do kind of talk about the Sea peoples as well. And then I do kind of get into like the beginnings of the Persian Empire, but we'll kind of be talking about them off and on later in the semester. So those are the main lectures. So I know like for ancient Mesopotamia, I do have like 2 different lectures. Like part 1, you see mostly on the Sumerian Akkadians, and then part 2 goes like the Assyrian, Babylonians, empires, etc. And then I do have a combined one. It's kind of long, but that lecture series is kind of long with that one. But it's got both of them together, from I guess the beginning of the background of Mesopotamia up to the rise of the Persians coming in. So there is the Canvas quiz number 2, ancient Mesopotamia. You see there due later, Monday, January 26th. There will be some discussions I'll put up later. I don't think I have those up there yet. but I will put those in there for any students that have comments, questions about the lectures, which you can get bonus points for. I just haven't put that in there yet, but I'll do that pretty much by the beginning of the semester in week 1. Moving down for later, not today really, but I know we'll be getting into eventually talk about the rise of like the Phoenicians, like the Carthaginian Empire. I'll get into the rise of the Israelites as well, which is known for their monotheism. So I'll talk about that. And then also going down further, I'll get into ancient Egypt. So those will be topics that'll be like for weeks 3 and 4 of the semester. So that's pretty much the main things I've got out right now, for the beginning semester. There are other assignments you need to worry about. I do know you have the book report. You need to send that to me, like what book you want to read for the book report assignment for the semester. Also, they have that first key terms vocabulary assignment you can start working on that's due later in February. And then also, there should be some other assignments you'll see here, like the pre-test I just said. It's kind of important to be turned in. And if you're interested in those bonus projects I have, I know there's one like the Student Historical Documentary Project and the Veterans Project. You can also sign up for those as well in the semester. So this is just a preview video about, what's going to be upcoming assessments wise for throughout the semester. Of course, I will be sending out emails, regularly about what's coming up and what students, what assignments that need to be completed pretty much throughout the semester. So I'll have other future preview videos like this one. It'll probably be like more like into week 3 when that'll come up, but usually new assignments are not put up, every week. Pretty much every other week I'll have assessments, 1, 3, 5, etc. Pretty much in the semester. So that's it for this preview video for the semester. If you have a comment, question, of course, about the course, do let me know either via my email or you can also, of course, go to Canvas discussions. So I hope everybody has a great semester at BRCC. Everybody take care.